What happened at the lake house?
Right. You've seen firsthand how complicated and messy the FBC's cases are. But this story should help you learn that things can always get weirder. This isn't the Bureau's first time in Bright Falls. 1970, 76, 8... Last one was in 2010. It's not exactly clockwork, but this town sees way more altered world events than most. We knew it was just a matter of time before the lake acted up again. After the AWE in 2010, the FBC's research department set up a facility, the Lake House, to study the threshold in Cauldron Lake, find better ways to contain the entity inside. Your tax dollars at work. When we detected a spike in paranatural activity at Cauldron Lake, before I even knew you were on this case, Saga, the Lake House was my first stop. I was short-handed, hoped they could spare some help, maybe give us some intel on the situation. If I had any clue what was waiting for us in there, Saga, I'd have just kept on driving. This is Agent Kieran Estevez responding to an AWE alert in the vicinity. I need to speak with the Marmonts. So much for the welcome wagon. You all set up the perimeter. We're on the Threshold's doorstep, so keep your eyes peeled.
Yes, ma'am.
This shouldn't take long, okay? You see anything, radio me.
The Lake House was run by the research department. Research and investigations don't really see eye to eye. What they call science, I call a violation of Bureau protocol and human decency. Classic interdepartmental drama. Your FBI saga, you know how it goes. Now, in retrospect, my low opinion of the research department may have clouded my judgment.
Hello? Agent Kieran Estevez, Investigations Department. No one wants to check the individual carrying a firearm into a restricted government facility? No? Okay, well, it was definitely going in the report. That's handy. An experiment. That bodes well. It's locked.
Hello, and welcome to another exciting day here at the Lake House. As I'm sure you know, I am Dr. Jules Marmont, and this is my wife.
Dr. Diana Marmont.
And together we are the heads of research at this facility. We want to thank you all for helping us break new ground in our study of Cauldron Lake.
That's right, Jules. But don't let our exciting work in threshold regulation and dimensional coupling keep you from observing the proper safety protocols.
You said it, Diana. We run a tight ship here at the Lake House. So, always remember the 3 S's. Safety, security, and censorship.
It's a C. It's a C.
What? Yeah, that is the joke, Diana.
Well, it's a stupid fuck.
Wonderful joke, Jules. We'll see you down there.
Yeah, that seems healthy.
Access denied.
Well, you are not keeping me out. I'll need a key card with clearance. Dr. Marmont's not here. Nobody is? I'll have to check downstairs. Changing passwords, huh? Nope. This should get me downstairs.
As soon as I got in that elevator, my bad news detector started going nuts. Estevesta team, something's going on in the lake house. I want all nearby agents to...
Agent Estevez, what's your status?
Breach detected on sublevel 5. Staff should seek shelter immediately.
We have a situation in the lake house. All agents converge on the facility now. Belay that order. Where's the fucking elevator? Okay. Priority 1, get the lights on. Standing around in the dark near Cauldron Lake is not smart. What the fuck was that? Okay, doesn't do a damn thing without power. Okay, power core receiver. Plugging a core in should get the lights on. That is not a regulation FBC weapon. Can't open it from the side. Jules' keycard could be useful. I wish they'd make these things lighter. The way I saw it, there was only one way out. Identify the source of the event and contain or eliminate it. Now, good news, I just had to keep going down. Bad news, the elevator liked to disappear. At least the elevator's back. Can't open it from the side.
First off, a huge thank you to everyone here. The Lake House has made amazing strides in researching the AWE here at Cauldron Lake. Great work, team. I wanted to come in person so I could check in on the latest work. I won't get in the way. It's not our view, so no reason to be scared. Did you hear that, Dr. Marmot? While I'm here, I want to focus on the relationship between the Shadow and the AWE site below the lake. The theory that the Shadow even originates from the dimension this threshold is tapping into is compelling. Eventually, I want to understand how this dimension manages to convert subjective elements like art into objective reality. What are the constraints of this phenomenon? Can it, say, create altered items or even objects of power simply by manifesting them via a piece of art? These are the things we need to know to accurately classify the Shadow. I mean, that name is not very scientific. I mean, I came up with that. Shadow. So, any and all proposals are welcome. Anything testing art's effect on reality by using the Shadow's energy is preferred. To find answers, we'll first need a lot of data. No wrong answers. And when I return to the oldest house, I'll take back anything we end up with to run against a classified project called Hedron to build a comparative data set. I wish I could tell you more. It's very, very exciting. Non-physical forces impacting. No, sorry, I really can't. It is. You know what? Maybe some of you can come visit. We'll have to get your clearance, of course, but if that would, maybe that can. You know what? I don't want to take the entire day talking. So, the Shadow represents a whole new area of research, and I couldn't be more excited today to start digging in. It is a great new world, people.
Of the Federal Bureau of Control. I can assist you if you take no hostile action against me or any action that can be perceived as hostile. You never really get used to the shit you see in this job, but you can learn techniques to adjust, to function. Take 6 deep breaths, then get to work. Find the source, collapse the threshold.
Mirror, please hold. Please hold. Please hold. Please hold.
Understand me. I'm an agent of the Federal Bureau of Control. I can assist you if you take no hostile action against me or any action that can be perceived as hostile. Do you understand? So what kind of entity are you? You can speak. That means you probably imprinted on a person or retained some of your former self's information. Previously human, maybe? Okay, I can work with that. I just had an unpleasant encounter with some other painted individuals. Any relation? What does that mean? Okay, hey, calm down! You need to cease all hostility right now! Bad news? That thing is really pissed off. Good news. It didn't try to kill me. Baby steps. Angry living paintings are not typically on the Cauldron Lake bingo card. But something different was happening at the lake house, and I couldn't let it escape. Bright Falls didn't need this particular cherry on its already shitty sundae.
Sublevel 3.
Rudolph Lane stood back from the canvas. He didn't recognize the piece. Did he paint this? His mind was foggy, unfocused. He knew the Marmonts were putting something in his food. A man in a white coat came to steer Lane back to his cell. He did not resist. He was too tired. He lay on the bed, but the stench in his cell wouldn't let him sleep. An acid stink. The turpentine. The paint. It was all over him. Years of it. 1,000 paintings. 1,000 more to come. A putrid weight he could never wash away. Cold hate simmered below the mist clogging his thoughts. Hatred for the paint. Hatred for the brushes. For the Marmonts. For himself.
and Jules Marmont had once been a team. Rising stars in the Bureau, both talented in their own way. Diana innovated and Jules got funding from the bureaucrats. Cooperation led to respect. Connection. Then after a decade of hard work, the happy couple were promoted. Co-heads of research. Their first years at the Lake House were good. Challenging, but not insurmountable. Not for them. Gradually, thoughts fell into their heads like drops of dark water. Why does she get all the credit? Why does he get any credit? With that, a crack formed in the Lake House. The Marmonts and their work became arrogant, erratic. The crack widened and the water seeped in.
September 12, 2023. Notes regarding the page of an Alan manuscript I found in the archives. I checked the records, and this page is not in our inventory. I believe it manifested inside the Lake House directly. I won't be filing this page. It'll just send Jules into a panic. The page is written in Wake's usual style, so I can't say for certain if it's being literal or figurative when it calls us monsters. But what's interesting is that the page indicates that a painting succeeded in linking Cauldron Lake's threshold with our facility. Writing has always been the clearly superior avenue of research, but I never considered that the writing itself would dictate a different art form as the catalyst for our success. I cannot accept that. I can't allow Jules to stumble his way into success. Not after the years of work I put into this research. I got word yesterday that 2 writers are visiting Bright Falls. I will take Jules to the finish line.
It became trapped, stagnant, went bad. The truth was controlled here. The art was not art, just content for the experiment. There was a crack in the lake house. The Marmonts had let the lake in, but the water could not flow. It became trapped, stagnant, went bad. The truth was controlled here. The art was not art, just content for the experiment. There was a crack in the lake house. The Marmonts had let the lake in, but the water could not flow. It became trapped, stagnant, went bad. The truth was controlled here. The art was not art, just content for the experiment. There was a crack in the lake house. The Marmonts had let the lake in.
As you know by now, typewriters and Cauldron Lake do not mix. And a room full of them all clacking away. 100% bad news.
March 7th, 2018. Notes regarding Dr. Emil Hartman, founder of the Cauldron Lake Lodge, where he manipulated artists in an attempt to control the power of the Shadow. I've gone through his notes, which were confiscated by the Bureau after his arrest in 2010. Overall, Hartman's work was sloppy. Complete disregard for proper scientific method. But he was bold enough to try something we haven't. Our procedural writing machines are promising, but we could understand the effects of Cauldron Lake's threshold much better by observing live artists in action. Thanks to Hartman, we even have a list of prospects. Next step is to send Dr. Darling a request to bring some into the lake house for analysis.
never say no to extra firepower. Back where I started. Spatial recurrence usually observes the law of 3.
This contrived overlap bounded on itself, compressing, compounding, reflecting, and refracting. An urban legend and a murder in constant imbalance. Cause and effect hopelessly tangled. Arranged wrong, the dream logic flawed, the feedback loop doubled and redoubled, out of control. The pressure kept building, looking for release. This contrived overlap rebounded on itself, compressing, compounding, reflecting, and refracting.
Loop 3. Should be the last one.
I keep coming back to this page. The author's clearly awake. It's like he's warning us. About what? I mean, what does it mean? This page scared Jules away from the work he's writing. A coward can't stand risk. But science is risk. For me, this is proof that we are going in the right direction. I just need Rudolph Lane's paintings to lead to more pages so that hopefully one day we can understand. I keep coming back to this page. The author's clearly awake. It's like he's warning us. does it mean? This page scared Jules away from the work on Wake's writing.
Locked. Maybe there's another way in. Controllable shifting phenomena. Alan Wake's writing is being studied here. Do you know anything about him?
Names don't matter. 1,000 more to come.
They say clear communication is the key to any relationship. You and I have some work to do there. What happened to you? Did the people here do this to you?
Marmon's clogging his head.
You said Marmonts before. Do they do this? Where are they now? Tell me where they are. Christ. It's fixated on the Marmonts. What did they do?
Access denied.
Ugh, this keycard isn't gonna cut it. A threshold is the connection between a foreign reality and our own. Now, they all have their own rules, strange as they are, but the further down I went, the more chaotic this one got. Clearly, this was the Cauldron Lake threshold, but something was wrong. Well, more wrong than usual.
Sublevel 1. Sublevel 3.
Level-wide lockdown in effect. Please remain calm.
Sublevel 2.
Level-wide lockdown in effect. Please remain calm.
Finally, someone who isn't a painting. Hey, hello. Who are you?
Sorry, got a flow going. Can we do this later?
No, we cannot. I'm Agent Kieran Estevez. I'm with the government, and I need your name.
I'm Ed Brooker, the playwright. And I'm hitting my stride here, so can you guys stop with all that banging and screaming? It's throwing me off.
What are you even doing? What are you writing?
Well, after you all abducted me in the woods, I've been working on this manuscript you gave me because you need it for some experiment or something. I kind of forget the premise. But, you know, I've had this block lately, and filling in the gaps of this story has really loosened me up. Copying the style is a nice constraint, but I still have lots of room to play. It's a solid creative exercise.
Where do you think you are right now?
In an immersive writing workshop.
Well, bad news, it's not a writing workshop. Good news, it's not a writing workshop.
Right. It's a government facility studying the power of creativity. That makes way more sense.
Look around you. How is this a workshop?
You have to stay in character. I get that. I'm in the theater business too. And look, the sets, the costumes, all great in that, you know, campy, 70s sci-fi kind of way. But you could dial down the role-playing like 15–20%. Just some professional advice.
Sir, whether you are aware of it or not, there is a situation here. I need you to stay in your cell until I can resolve the matter, okay?
Uh-huh, got it. Hey, no one's been around with food for a while. I could go for some dinner when you have a second. Oh, and can I get my phone back? I want to call my wife. I don't know how Tammy found you guys, but she killed it. 5 stars all around.
Yeah, I'll get right on that.
Shadow monsters represent capitalism, which means the flashlight is the power of the artist. Sheer creativity tearing through the shadowy cloak of corporate cookie-cutter bullshit. Killer metaphor. This is good stuff. The style's a little clip. I can work with that. Short to the point, visual metaphors, dark imagery. Government is spreading darkness, trying to control the uncontrollable. It speaks to climate change, oppression, the disenfranchisement of immigrant minority populations. Lots of heavy themes in a dark sci-fi wrapper. Love it.
wonder what happened here.
Jules Marmont looked at the painting. He didn't understand it. Saw only random whirls of color. Drugging Lane made him more compliant, but his work had turned abstract. Jules needed more art his team could parse, could test, trial and error. These abstract explosions of color complicated the data. His grip tightened around the letter opener in his hand. The piece of art he needed was hidden inside Lane. If Jules could simply cut the painter open and pull the painting out of him, he would. The overhead lights flickered. Jules would make Lane cooperate. No more drugs. Less carrot, more stick. Jules had to go faster. He wouldn't lose to Diana. Nothing else mattered.
I can't paint anymore. I know you want me to paint, but I can't. I'm empty.
Rudolph, now, you love to paint. And you are such a talent. This is just the classic artist slump.
No. No, I hate it. It's just taking from me now. When can I leave? You said you'd let me leave.
Ah, Rudolph, but you volunteered to come, remember? We are helping you, like Dr. Hartman did. Perhaps you need to see our doctor? I can arrange that.
No. No, that's... I am feeling better. Much better. I will paint.
Ah, this is wonderful to hear, Rudolph. I knew you would come back to your old self.
many paintings did they have this guy make? Without HQ, more situations like this are gonna fall through the cracks. I'm glad someone here stood up to him.
Lockdown lifted. You are now safe to resume working.
Estevez, come in. Facility. Sublevel 1. You copy?
No, turn back. Area is extremely hostile.
Fucking radios. They're on floor 1. I'll need help. My team was on sublevel 1. I knew they were in danger.
Sublevel 1.
Ah, you fucking bastard! Jules Marmont killed my team. He was taken by the Shadow. I should get that gun while I'm up here.
That name is not very scientific. I mean, who came up with that?
I run the lake house. This is my facility. Mine! You cannot just walk in here for 1 week, make some speeches, and then fly back to New York. Espèce de crétin, prétentieux. The jackass thinks he's a fucking rock star. And he made fun of the name. Oh, the Shadow. The Shadow is good. It's evocative. He is just a jealous, spoiled little child. And I would make it so everyone can see this. I will make it so no one even remembers his name. Tous ces imbéciles là, hein? They all think I am a pencil pusher. They think I do not have the mind for such work. Bien, ils verront. Ils verront! I will take what they think is possible. But I will break it.
was a crack in the lake house. The Marmonts had let the lake in, but the water could not flow. It became trapped, stagnant, went bad. The truth was controlled here. The art was not art, just content for the experiment. The contrived overlap rebounded on itself, compressing, compounding, reflecting and refracting. An urban legend and a murder in constant imbalance, cause and effect hopelessly entangled. Arranged wrong, the dream logic flawed. The feedback loop doubled and redoubled, out of control. The pressure kept building, looking for a release. Shadow had changed Jules Marmont into a hostile, paranatural entity. That made everything simpler. No arrest, no paperwork. I could put him down like the monster he was.
Mirror, please hold. Please hold. Please hold. Hold.
The Marmonts were holding a painter here. Rudolph Lane. Does that ring a bell?
The shame of a man!
I think you are, or were, Rudolph Lane.
Himself! A self-portrait! Make them see!
Look, I might be able to help you. But I need information, cooperation.
No push! Just inside!
Rudolph Lane was dying. Both murderer and victim. Red hues ran down his hands. Was it scarlet? Or cadmium? Too vivid to be maroon. Names don't matter, he decided. Color was pure. Inspiring. For the first time in years, he wanted to paint. A self-portrait. To say goodbye. No. To make them remember. To make them see what they did. He slapped his hands against the wall to steady himself. He began from there. No brush, just himself. The strokes were crude, violent. The pain, misery, and hate he'd endured there. The fire in his eyes and hands and bones all spread into the shape of a man. It was quick. Natural. Like a heart attack. He slumped down to the floor, smiling at the anger he left smeared across the wall.
Sublevel 4.
Oh, nice office.
keep an eye out for more of these. On these bastards.
Diana sat in her office. A weak desk light kept the darkness around her at bay. The silence of the archive suited her. She scowled at a series of graphs when the room turned red. Alarms blared. Breach detected. Then the walls of the archives rumbled. A tremor in the bones of the facility. One by one, the red lights went dark as a wave of nothing poured in from all sides. Diana stood, but there was nowhere to run. The sheer depth of the darkness terrified her. She realized they had done this. Her and Jules. Their ambition. Their hatred. Her desk lamp flickered. In the brief moment before it all went dark, she thought of Jules' smile.
Planning season was a bust!
September 13th, 2023, notes regarding the concept of a tortured artist. A romanticized image of the sensitive artistic temperament, yes. But there may be truth in the cliche. It's no secret Rudolph Lem has been unhappy here for years. But, the aggregate data shows his art's viability score trending upward over time. If Jules hadn't neglected to hold regular psychological exams, then we could have quantified the subject's emotional state, creating a sort of distress rating to compare against the art's score. I'll make this a sub-goal of my study of Edward Booker. Once we set the variables and establish a control reading of his art and mental state, then we can begin inducing negative emotion. Limited food and water, perhaps. An increasingly tight eating space. This is how Jules lost his subject, though. I need to be careful not to leave any sharp objects in Booker's cell.
Just like that, I've arrived. I feel like I'm floating on air. I'm finding worlds everywhere. I feel like I'm floating on air. The nightmare can't have my dream. I feel like I'm floating on air. I'm finding worlds everywhere. I feel like I'm floating on air. The nightmare can't have my dream. Gaslight, something isn't right. It might be best to fill the test. Deep press, 6 deep breaths, forget all the rest. Roadblock, feels like my heart already stopped. Too much stress. Deep press, 6 deep.
The lake house was underwater. The Marmont's ambitions had finally been realized. Jules had dangled the painting like a lure and hooked an ocean. Their machines couldn't hold it. A fault in the system. The water rushed in, filled it until it was ready to burst. All their successes and failures had led them here. The work had made them into monsters. But the lake house was still theirs. It always would be. They could feel an outsider trespassing in their labs. "I know you're here," they called out to the dark. They hunted floor by floor. They wouldn't let the intruders stop their progress. This was their home. Their beloved tomb beneath the waves.
Take it slow, 'cause that's the fastest way that I know. Deep breath.
Wish the elevator would stop moving. More shifting geometry. Yeah, great.
60 breaths till I'm mine, I'm mine. 60 breaths, you can wait outside. And just like that, just like that.
Some big experiment tomorrow. I can't find the details anywhere.
This doesn't look like Lane's style.
He's hiding them.
Different artist.
All those years, he steals credit for my ideas and my work, and now he's scared of being plagiarized? Oh, that is really fucking rich, Jules. Oh, and he's reportedly misplaced the manuscript pages I need for my work. Suddenly, the exact pages that I need to reference have just vanished. He is actively impeding critical Bureau research. I mean, if he can do that, then what is stopping me from going down to that lab? And I don't know, just inverting the amplifiers or misaligning the receivers or both. It's the same thing in principle. He booked the lab. Some big experiment tomorrow.
Sublevel 5.
No. The Marmonts had opened the door into Cauldron Lake's threshold. It was forced. It was unstable. Shutting the experiment down was the only option. Marmots are dead. I don't know if that's any sort of consolation, but it's done. The threshold is tearing itself apart. I need to shut this down. You are a paranatural entity. That's all there is to it.
Agent Estevez stood in the forest just outside of Bright Falls. She watched her team detain Alan Wake and Ilmo Koskinen, stuffing them into black SUVs. She realized this was the moment Wake had been writing in the vision she had seen. The story was coming true. She pushed the thought out of her head. It had been a good tip, a way to find Wake. Nothing more.
Alan Wake! After the Threshold event collapsed, I was back at Cauldron Lake. But for a moment, I was somewhere else. I saw Alan Wake there. He was writing about me finding him in Bright Falls, in the woods. It was a good tip. I called the surviving members of my team, and I told them to meet me there. You know, these cases, they never get less ambiguous or easier. This one, this was tough. Because protocol says entities like the Taken are monsters, threats. But the Marmots were monsters way before the Shadow got to them. So at the end of the day, what's the difference?
We wrote so many things, wrote them for you and me. We're here standing on a precipice, we are ready to take a leap. But that only comes after, for this was the end scene. This was the end of an era. This was the sum of my body of work. When I'll be long gone, you can hold this together, and you can take it or leave it. Everything that comes after, and we'll always have this. All these moments that led us here, all this joy and these heartaches, they're woven into our very fabric. Can take that away from us. The journey that brought us here. The journey that made us who we are.
I gave Ed Booker a ride back to town, told him never breathe a word about this. Didn't even bother detaining him, bigger fish to fry. And, that's it. So if you were thinking, Jesus, this lady's an asshole. Well, now you know why. You've only seen one case like this. I've seen a career's worth. I was just trying to spare you the headache.